Ask any watch enthusiast to name 5 microbrands and chances are one, if not both of these two brands will be mentioned. While significantly differing in their design philosophy, they share the commitment to high-quality Swiss craftsmanship that recommends them as worthy alternatives to mid-luxury brands like Longines, Tudor or Omega. Two of the most popular models produced by these microbrand legends belong to the watch category I am most fond of, the Go Anywhere, Do Anything timepiece, or for short, GADA, and it's my privilege to be able to pit them against each other in a duel to end all duels. These are Formex Essence 39 and Monta Triumph. As my focus is on being as objective as possible, I will not invent criteria that would help one or the other of the duelists, but I will use the same format I do when reviewing a watch, judging these two on design, fit and finish, components, wearability and versatility, and brand, and each of these categories will have a winner that will score 1 point.
Round 1. Fight!
I have to start by saying I believe this is not really the Monta watch to pit against the Formex Essence. The Noble would have been a better opponent, but I could only get a Triumph courtesy of my friend Christian's generosity. On the other hand, the stark difference in the design of these two watches is testament to my belief that watches can be original without the need to constantly referencing established models. On one hand, Triumph has a timeless design that refines the field watch into a reserved, elegant package that seems to be geared towards the traditionalists of the hobby. Essence, on the other hand, is a modern, dramatic, vibrant watch whose focus is on practicality. I believe that key to illustrating the difference in the approach of these two microbrands is the dial. Formex truly reduced the watch to its essence with minimum of decoration and panache. There is a fine line between simplicity and simplistic, and Formex navigated with the precision of Senna hitting the apex. Monta, on the other hand, seemed to throw as many design elements as possible on the Triumph dial, from the alternance of applied and painted markers to doubling them with numerals to emphasizing the cardinal points by going big and bold. Every component of the dial gets an extra touch when compared with the Essence, from the tip of the second hand to the painted color accent, from the frame around the date window to the half railroad minute track. Knowing that the case of the Triumph is half a millimeter smaller than the one of the Formex watch, this abundance of design elements could be seen as overkill, but there's another measurement that puts everything in the context: the dial size. At 32mm across, the dial of the American brand watch occupies 83% of the overall diameter against the 75% proportion of the Essence. The fundamentally different approaches to design are further emphasized by the case and bracelet combos. Monta went for a classic, understated, almost boring construction. Long lugs framing an oyster bracelet, diamond-shaped crown, and a Rolex-style clasp, they all combine in a package that lacks a clear identity for an overall safe approach. Essence, on the other hand, is bold and unapologetic, very much a watch of its time. Everything that Monta went to great lengths to soften, Formex have decided to crystallize. Sharp angles, exposed screws, geometrical patterns give the Essence a sense of vibrancy that contrasts violently with the understated nature of the Triumph. Looking at the Swiss microbrand's watch, the eye gets caught in details. The watch is contemplated one nook and cranny at a time, while its counterpart's approach seems to lack focus. At the end of the day, judging design comes down to two considerants. 1. Is it original? And 2. Does it achieve its goals? And beyond personal taste, there's a clear winner here. Formex draws first blood.
Round 2. Fight!
This is where Formex takes an early lead and solidifies it. Essence simply packs too big of a punch for Monta. Sure, Triumph's broader hands and imposing cardinal markers give it the upper hand when it comes to the BGW9 Superlumino volume longevity, but Formex benefits from a superior anti-glare treatment of its sapphire crystal, and its dial variations are not only dependent on color, but various materials can be used, from natural minerals to slices of meteorite. This category, though, comes down to the caliber used. And while Triumph uses a proprietary version of the Celita SW300 with the benefit of a slimmer frame that helps Monta get an under 10mm thin package, Formex chose to power the Essence with a chronometer grade of Celita's SW200 to spectacular cask accuracy. SW300's trump card of supposedly superior shock resistance is aptly denied by the patented case suspension system of Formex, with a modern approach based on active safety against passive protection.
Round 3. Fight!
Monta start their comeback on the back of their fabled build quality. This is a round where judging the two watches goes beyond what eyes can see, and that's why this is where a reviewer should earn his salt. That's because even when looking through the macro lens, there's only this much a screen can tell. When the brushing and polishing of both watches look as close to perfection as is the case here, the tiebreaker involves a sense impossible to convey through the screen: the touch. Essence not only looks but feels premium, and wearing it is a pleasure. That being said, when it comes to fit and finish, Triumph is one step up. I've had a chance to handle watches that cost 2, 3, 5 times more than this one, and they failed to transmit the same tactile sensation. Just picking the watch up gives the sensation of luxury. Its weight is perfect, its balance is sublime. This is less of a watch to look at, but one to touch. This is not a round that Formex lose, but one that Monta deservedly win.
Round 4. Fight!
Sometimes, in order to gain something, you need to sacrifice something else. It goes without saying that a radical design is bound to attract fewer people than a safe approach, so as far as versatility is concerned, Triumph was always gonna have the upper hand. The modernism of the Formex has confined them to a niche they fully embraced, unconcerned about their role in a watch collection. Their approach seems to have gone along the line, if we build it, they will come. Monta, on the other hand, have opted for the conventional let's please as many potential clients as possible through their somewhat anachronic design. And when it comes to versatility, beyond considering if a watch is suitable to different attires, a key aspect I'm guilty of constantly overlooking is addressing cultural differences and age gaps. That's why Monta's safe approach ensures more versatility than Formex boldness. When talking about versatility, another key aspect to consider is, of course, the possibility of changing the outlook of the watch by swapping straps. And despite Essence scoring a big point through its very user-friendly quick-release spring bars, it loses it quickly because of the very narrow end links. I have tried fitting any of my 15 strap on the Essence from standard quick release to curved bars, and I failed. It seems that should one want to wear this watch on leather or rubber, one is confined to the custom options on the Formex website. Monta, with a lack of quick-release spring bars or drilled lugs, seem to care less about facilitating taking the bracelet off, but besides being able to buy their straps, customers would be able to use their own. The Monta watch also wins the wearability contest due to their on-the-fly micro-adjustment clasp. Despite its aesthetical superiority in a complete 180 to the way this duel goes, the Formex butterfly clasp cannot compete despite a rather gimmicky extension. The only point, but an important one nonetheless, Formex score is being able to offer the Essence in more colorways and, crucially, different sizes. Still, this is not enough to prevent Monta from tying the score.
Round 5. Fight!
And this brings this tight race to the tiebreaker. Judging a brand is very complex, from their catalog to their prices, from customer care to user interface. Starting with Monta, they should be considered the underdog of this competition. From history to exposure, they are at least one step below the Swiss microbrand and certainly possess more of the small microbrand appeal that I value a lot. However, there's a fine line between discreetness and appearing aloof, and I'm sorry for having to point out at a couple of things I believe they should improve on. First thing is shipping cost. By asking customers outside of the US to spend an additional $50, they give the feeling of preferential treatment that doesn't bode well with me, especially when factoring in the taxes I, as an European, would have to pay on top of its retail price. As a matter of fact, like many other American brands, Monta seem to be focused exclusively on the domestic public, and I believe time has come for them to step out of their comfort zone. One other thing I'm less than impressed with is their prominent claim, the most comfortable bracelet in the world. Regardless of how much water does this claim hold, the sensation I get from it is of a puffer fish trying to look bigger, and it also takes focus away from the overall quality of the watch. Add to that the $150 restocking fee for returns, and the picture is all but painted. This, however, is not a round lost by Monta, but one where Formex would blow almost any other of its peers out of the water. Ever since taking over in 2015, Raphael Granit has steered the Swiss microbrand into the limelight it shares with the likes of Christopher Ward, Farrer or Yema. As one popular watch reviewer has put it, it took Formex 20 years to be an overnight success. That being said, I genuinely fear they're running the risk of becoming a one-trick pony. Countless dial variations and special editions of the same watch can only get you that far, and a new model is direly needed for the brand to firmly establish itself as a viable alternative to the mainstream brands. In this regard, I believe Monta offers more, but Formex takes this round due to its scale. After a heavily disputed competition, Formex takes the crown. To me, this outcome goes long ways into showing that originality and boldness can be foundations of success. In a world where derivative design seems to suffocate any semblance of creativity, the success of Formex should be a ray of hope for the microbrand owners that stubbornly insist on swimming against the stream. However, the fact that the Swiss microbrand has reached this summit after a change of its philosophy, of its approach to market, should be a lesson all microbrands, Monta included, should study. Designing the perfect watch is not enough, and on their side, Formex should also be wary of the consequences of a small catalog. Monta have to learn from Formex just as much as the Swiss should learn from the Americans. Bottom line is, as long as they, along countless other microbrands, will keep competing, the only true winner is you, the discerning, educated watch enthusiast. And to you I dedicate this channel, where I strive to present as many original and great alternatives to the mainstream noise in an effort to find the watch you want.